Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. This morning's discussion will be on living in Krishna. So, most of the time we feel when we talk of the Krishna, it is wholly to be understood as Krishna consciousness. So far, this Krishna consciousness is concerned, it is, we know, over mind consciousness, overhead consciousness. Anyway, it is overhead consciousness, top of the spiritual consciousness, and it is a passage to the supramental consciousness. So, over mind is a passage to supermind, top of the spiritual consciousness, spiritual mind, it is at the top of our mind. Then it is a passage to supermind. So we are quoting of the Lord Krishna, of the upper, this is a great Krishna we are speaking of. Steer up in the course in aphorism number 489. Two continuous aphorisms have been twice in back to back serially Sri Aurobindo has quoted, living in Krishna in 490, even enmity becomes a play of love and the wrestling of brothers. And of course, in 489, Sri Aurobindo has quoted, when I live in Krishna, it is whole the way Krishna consciousness. Sri Aurobindo quotes in 489, when I live in Krishna, then ego and self-interest vanish. A great advantage. If somebody can live in the Krishna consciousness, and these two major gains will be there, ego and self-interest, it will perish. And what will be the output gain? Only God Himself can qualify my love, bottomless and illimitable. Very grand way Sri Aurobindo has splendidly explained, and this is a great message from great aphorism from Sri Aurobindo. When I live in Krishna must be understood, must be taken for granted. When I live in Krishna, then ego and self-interest, two odds, ego and self-interest vanish. In that place, what really comes and covers the place? God Himself, only God Himself can qualify my love. God Himself, capital G, can qualify my love, bottomless and illimitable. You can imagine how Krishna will fulfill my love and how He can qualify my love. It is bottomless and illimitable. The condition for that to happen, the condition is really you have to live in Krishna, Krishna consciousness. Again in 490 we see the another frame, another format and another style of description from Sri Aurobindo really. Living in Krishna, even enmity becomes a play of love. Love, enmity, friendship. But here, even living in Krishna, if in that consciousness someone can live, then what happens? Even enmity becomes a play of love and the wrestling of brothers. Because there one example we can take, there was a big fight between in a palace, in a kingdom. There was a big fight, and the fight is very interesting, very it is a mystical fighting. That is one of the greatest fighter, and he is to fight with the weakest person who knows not even a fighting. So how it is just a ridiculous thing. Just imagine how it is possible. So everybody is exclaimed, how is it possible? Even king himself, then what is going to happen here? He is the very strong and stout. He has got name and fame. He is uncomparable. Simple. How he could be? This man will be. This is very thin. Does not know at all the skill of fighting. Never gone fight. Does not know what really fighting is. How is it possible to fight to conduct a fight between them? Anyway, there was a fighting. It has to commence. I mean, sorry, it has to commence immediately as soon as the conch cell is blowed. Then what happens? This weaker person comes and falls at the feet of the his opponent. Because surrender to admit one's fault is a great victory. So that consciousness will be there. Even we have felt sometimes the greatest enemies, they have come forward to strike. That is was a lifelong struggle, and somebody plans, no, it should end, it is not good for our fortune, that has been changed. So he has surrendered, and this enmity has forever closed. At that time, we have seen. Anyway, this is a great message because his consciousness has been changed. Till now, everything was been carried out by bullets. Now everything is thought in a supreme consciousness, Krishna consciousness. It has been changed. Anyway, so here in the course, if living in Krishna, if you can be able to stay in the Krishna consciousness, and what will happen? Even enmity becomes a play of love. This enmity will vanish. Instead of this enmity will become, it will become a play of love, simply, and a wrestling of the brothers. As two brothers are wrestling among themselves, there is love, there is no enmity. So it is there, and moreover you have to, the base condition is that you have to live in Krishna consciousness again. To the soul that has held the highest beatitude, to the soul that has held hold that has hold the highest beatitude, life can't be an evil or sorrowful illusion. Just imagine how this life will be released from sorrow and from sorrowful illusion, evil and sorrowful illusion. The condition is that the soul that can hold, that has hold the highest beatitude. In that condition, life can't be evil and sorrow or sorrowful illusion. Rather than what, if not evil or sorrowful illusion, then what? All life becomes a rippling love and laughter of the divine lover and playfellow. Just playfellow. Just imagine how this life will change. Only condition is that the soul that has held the higher beatitude, that has to be done. It is the matter, it is relation of the soul, and it has to hold the highest beatitude. This, if once it has been done, then life can't be an illusion, a sorrowful illusion or evil. It will be transformed to all the rather all life becomes a rippling love, the rippling love and the laughter of the, you know of a divine lover and a fellow, laughter of a divine lover and playfellow, rippling of love and laughter, it is possible. So that time actually it is nothing to do with us, it is everything, the everything relates to the functionary activities of the soul. It has to hold, it has to hold the highest beatitude. Against your in the course, canst thou see God in the bodiless infinity? There is a big question, big indication from Sri Aurobindo. Canst thou see God in the bodiless infinity, and yet love Him as a man loves his mistress? Wife and all children naturally loved by the man. So Sri Aurobindo quotes, canst you see God as a bodiless infinity, and yet love Him as a man loves his mistress? As you love your wife and children, wife, your beloved, like this, the condition is that you have to love the God. Then what happens? Has the highest truth of the infinity has been revealed to thee. Highest truth of the infinity, highest truth of the infinity is revealed to thee. Can thou also clothe the infinity in one secret embraceable body? Clothe the infinity. Infinity, is beyond your approach, beyond your imagination, beyond your calculation. So you are in the course. Canst thou also clothe in second phase? Infinity one secret embraceable body, secret embraceable body. If you can clothe the infinity and see Him seemed in each and all of these bodies that are visible and sensible, all the bodies which are visible and sensible, if you have to see Him, then what will the result? Then has its widest and profoundest truth, widest and profoundest truth come into thy possession. So these two very simply thing, but actually it seems very strange. Of course, it is very grand to our eyes. See, first in the first format here in the quoted, see God in the bodiless infinity and love Him as the somebody's mistress, as somebody loves his mistress. Then the result will be like this. Then highest truth of the infinity have been revealed in thee. Highest truth have been revealed in thee. That is the first condition. If you can love Him. Second, If you can clothe the infinity in a secret embrace, secret embraceable body, secret embraceable body, if he can be clothed, and see him see him, seated in each and all the bodies that are visible and sensible. In all the bodies which are visible and sensible, you will find him seated. Then what will be the result? The great result will be there. Its widest and profoundest truth can also into thy position. Widest and profoundest truth will come into thy position. Against Sri Aurobindo quotes, I should love my neighbor. Loving the neighbor, that is a great import. That carries, that takes a, of course, carries a great importance. Most of the time, we never love. So, during the course, we pretend we know. During the course, in that mob like they stoned and never caught in sin. Never, just staying in front of you. It is your duty to love him. That is a, because you must have the relationship like water and milk, khir and nir. That relation is existing. But the thing is that we are pretending. Stone like they stoned and never caught in sin. Suppose he is caught in sin, then you are yourself being a neighbor. You are just stoning him to death. That is a great mystery, great evil thing that has been discovered in the human atmosphere so far. We find anyway. Steer of the parts will talk and describe what really steer of in the courts here. I should love my neighbor, not because he's neighborhood. He's because he's staying beside me, so I have to send some vegetable curry to him. Instead, I will find or I will expect some mutton curry from him. So, because not because he is naturehood, then for what I will, for what is there in neighborhood, still in the course, and of course distance. So what I have to do, that's what is during the course. I should love my neighbor not because of the neighborhood. Then for what I will love him? For what neighborhood and the distance? Nor because the religion tells me he is my brother. Staying at your side, he is your neighbor. Religion say he is your brother. Not for that also. For where is the root of that neighborhood? Sri Aurobindo asks, where is the root of their neighborhood? Not because religion has told, not because he is staying beside me, because then what, for what? Then Sri Aurobindo quotes, but because he is myself, because there is the self of the spark soul, the self, same thing is in him and another person in him, in me, all are the spark souls of the absolute. So neighborhood and the distance affect the body, heart goes beyond them. Neighborhood, very interesting, we will listen. Neighborhood and distance affect the body, the heart goes beyond them. Again, the brotherhood, after the neighborhood comes the brotherhood, is of blood or country or religion or humanity. When we talk the brotherhood, we most of the time we are brothers because we belong to the same condition. We are brothers, we are from same family. We are brothers because our his kith and kin, we have been related in marriage, bondage, or any way we are related, the mocker, or our friendship. So, but when self-interest clamors, what becomes in of this brotherhood? Self-interest clamors when even son is killing the father and the father is killing the daughter because of this very much limited temperament and limited self-interest. So it's in the course here. What happens in of this brotherhood? It is only by living in God, as we quoted of the living in Krishna. So here in the course here, it is only by living in God and turning mind and heart and body into the image of the universal unity. just recently we kept listening the universal consciousness, the cosmic consciousness. We were listening from reading from Savitri. So cosmic consciousness, just imagine that with Sri Aurobindo's description. It is only by living in God, living in God, only by living in God and turning our mind and heart and body into the image of the universal unity, that that deep deep disinterested and unassailable love becomes possible. Not in no way, no ways, dear in the course, it is the only thing, only possibility is that, it is only by living in God, turning mind, body, and heart into the image of her universal unity, not one, two, universal unity. That deep, disinterested, and unassailable love becomes possible. Otherwise, no chance. Again, it is a Greek one. I will try to read it out again. I will try to quote it again. I should love my neighborhood, not because he is my neighborhood, because he's staying beside me. We have got most of the enemies. Enmity becomes starts emerges. Actually, it manifests from the neighborhood, and I know the two brothers emerging from the same mother's home are the greatest enemy you have ever seen. So I should love my neighbor not because he is my neighborhood. For what then that in neighborhood and distance? So if I can't, then what should be neighborhood and distance? Nor because the religion tells me that he is my brother. For that also I should not love him. The religion has trust. In we are under same banner, same religion. So brotherhood and neighborhood it exists. That not for because that. For where is the root of that in the brotherhood? And but because that brotherhood, because religion said, and or because he is staying, but not that is actually we will consider this neighborhood or brotherhood. Then where is the root? Sri Aurobindo tries to clarify. Neighborhood and the distance affect the body. Heart goes beyond it. Neighborhood and the brotherhood affects the body, but the heart goes beyond it. It has something else. It quests for something else. But again, brotherhood is of blood and the country, blood or country or religion or humanity. From that, actually, brotherhood has emerged. But what self-interest? But when self-interest clamors, what becomes to the brotherhood? Two brother killing each other. So just imagine, for a patch of land, for some money. So where is brotherhood then? It is only by then what is the solution? It is by living in God and turning mind and heart and body into the image of the universal unity, that deep, disinterested and unassailable love become possible in no other way. So it is a great one. Again, I will try to read the last or and of course very fast description, which was the topic of our discussion. When I live in Krishna, then ego and self-interest vanishes. Then the only God Himself can qualify my love, bottomless and illimitable. Again, living in Krishna, then what happens? The great change. Even enmity become a play of love and wrestling of the brothers. Bande Matram. Have a nice day. Thank you.